go. I wonder what the rule is there.
I tell you what, we don't really have a rule. What it is if a kid like Troy Crowder wants to fight a Bob Probert, those are some big boys, and we'll let them fight because they're going to fight sooner or later. Sometimes it's good to let their aggressions get over with, and we just let them fight. When they get tired, we go in and we break it up. Sometimes you might have a mismatch. If Troy Crowder wants to fight a Stan Smeal or something like that, then we have to get in right away because then, the smaller player might get hurt. Then it draws the crowd, and so you want to get in there as quick as possible.
Okay, thanks.
All right. What determines when you say let them go? Just if it's an even... sometimes it looks like an even scrap, and yet you still jump in. Is the referee advising you on that, or what?
No, it's pretty much up to the linesman. The referee is more concerned about the other players. But we have some guidelines that we follow, and basically if we have two players who are shadow boxing, because usually a fight will break out during the play, so we're along the boards to begin with, so it takes a few seconds for us to skate out to where the fight's taking place.
Or for the other guy to cross over, it's on the board.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're both there. So if we both arrive and the players are still shadow boxing, it doesn't look very good because the National Hockey League is not in the business of promoting fights regardless of who the players are. And so if they're both standing there shadow boxing and we're the two linesmen standing there watching them, now it looks like we're promoting fighting. And so we'll step between them and they'll get misconducts or delay games. If they want to fight, they fight. And if they want to shadow box, then we're more or less instructed to prevent it. If they get together before we get there, then obviously we'll let them fight. Like Brad said, if one player starts to gain an advantage, we don't want anybody to get hurt, and we don't want a situation where we'll have a third man in, so then we'll intervene.
Or if they both fall to the ice, you try and get on them right away.
Exactly.
All right, we should have a great time here talking about...
There's none that really mind as the best.
Any you wouldn't have wanted to be in?
No, that's not usually a problem. A lot of times people think that the players that are the heavyweight type players are the harder ones to break up, but those are usually the easy ones to break up because those guys have a job to do and we have a job to do, and there's a mutual respect. Those guys do their job, and then when we get in there, they usually quit. Sometimes it's when you get a player that's not a regular fighter and he doesn't realize that he's supposed to quit, that they can be tough from our standpoint to break up. But none really come to mind as a real heavyweight one that sticks out in my mind.
And do you guys catch a couple shots in the head too when you're breaking up a real heavyweight fight?
Yeah, I got one a couple of years ago. Last year, 2 years ago. Calgary's playing L.A. and Martin McSorley's fighting Tim Hunter, and they're really going at it. And I try to be the tough guy and go into this fight just a little too early, and McSorley hit me in the side of the head with a good right hook, and he can throw a pretty hard punch. So yeah, that hurt. But back to fights for a second. One night in Montreal Forum, when Jay Miller was playing for Boston and John Cordick was playing for Montreal, they skated they both jumped on the ice and they skated. They just dropped their gloves, dropped their sticks. It was like a hockey night in Canada, going right across Canada. They skated right to center ice, right to the middle of the rink, and started to fight. And I was working with a linesman, John D'Amico, and he just stood back and said, "Let these guys go." And it felt like they went for about 2 days. But that's probably one of the best fights I saw. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
All right, all this this talk of fighting, we're promoting it here. We'll get all kinds of shots like that. Who are the best needlers behind the bench? Who are the coaches?